All right, what's up, guys? It's Nick here with some raw day trading, and we are going to get into another wild, crazy day. And basically, up, down, up, down, up, down. Actually, down, 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 up, down, down, down. I will just watch some video. So let's start with last to first. This stock GV was the only thing kind of holding up into after noon time, and I was red on it about 250 and really frustrating myself out here. Not really playing well. And it was kind of like weird low volume. Like the fills were slippy if you were in the wrong spot. It had a very unique like fill signature to it. The chart setup did not look fantastic, but the only thing I liked that it was holding. And I kept taking stabs at it. At one point, I got down to, down 400 on it, and I was like, just kind of stressing out about it, honestly. Put me down like 800 on the day, but it was the second time I was down 800 today, so I was just like, whatever. It wasn't really that big of a deal, but it does. And like my whole thing in my head, it's like, I think it's going to hit three. And so, like, I keep taking shots at three, and I keep getting chopped around. Not really trading it super well. Let's actually see the where I lost a good amount of money here because I was down. I remember I took a couple small scratches. It was as I thought it was going to break here, and I just kept taking breakouts, which was not a great thing to do. And so, small little loss here, not a big deal. Um, take a little dip off that. It wasn't really that big of a dip. And I'm gonna take another loss here. I'm holding it a little too long. But it's kind of hesitating. Okay. Then where were we? It was this trade that got me. So it ends up popping from total trap. Like I let myself get trapped here. So it pops up to 80, busting through. Looks like it's going to bust 83, and then it's hesitating once I buy, and I'm not cutting immediately right there. And unfortunately, this is not. Yeah, I'm just like letting it go. I'm like, what am I doing? And I'm gonna have to cut it here. I mean, I was kind of just like waiting on the market for it to go back up, but it didn't happen. Okay. There will be another example where you do the same thing. Okay, so that's 150 bucks, not great. Um, and then I kind of like lose a little bit more, but it keeps like holding up, and so I keep trying to take shots at it, but it's just like the range is so tight and it's so choppy, nothing's really happening. And nothing really does happen until it starts holding above here for a second, and I get one good trade. And then thank God I'm being tighter now with my entries and exits here as I'm taking stabs at this explosion, which that's what I'm anticipating. So stuff here that I don't like, it's like all the volumes in this one candle. And so I'm kind of backing off here, letting it do its thing. It just tested right there. This was the previous high day. And it's kind of holding. It's not totally rejecting. And I'm still thinking a shot at 3. Is my belly? So I'm still looking to 3 here. It doesn't look bad, but it's tricky because if you get in the wrong spot on this, it could just chop you out. And so what I'm looking for here is a place to keep my wrist tight while giving me the best opportunity. And a lot of times that's when the move starts, kind of, because the time is the time is compressed, and so you can kind of make quicker decisions and manage risk. Here, it's kind of hesitating. It's testing low, and now it's looking like maybe it's going to turn around. We'll see. Testing low again. I do like the volume is really low. That spread's not really okay. There's a spread right there. Sort of mid-range here. And I was actually irritated right here because of the way that closed. I thought it was going to fail after this because it closed green there, and I thought it's just going to get reversed. It's like a creep lower candle where it goes just slightly below, but it closes green, so it's going to like fake buyers in, and then shorts are just going to short it. That's what I was thinking was going to happen. But I was proven wrong as it starts to pull above in just a second. Buyers come in, and it's still like in this kind of floaty mode. And I'm not, there we go. I should be buying right here. Now I got back down to 250. It taps 3. I think it's done. Back down to minus 250. And then I'm backed off here. Just watching. Big seller there. big standalone 1 minute green candle, but another one though. So it's like there's one here, and then this one held above too. And so now it's like, huh, what's gonna happen here? I'm waiting for it back down in the 80s to see if it holds that below the range, but it's kind of pushing up here, and I'm not thinking I want to risk here. It's just so late in the day. It's 3:40. I just don't want to risk here. The stock itself is tricky. Hmm. I start getting distracted, and then wow, just really just rips up there. It ripped up a whole dollar a share, and there was an opportunity right there. There's sellers in there for sure. I want to rewind that and just see that a couple more times. Jesus, if you would have got caught at the highs of that, ooh, that would have sucked. And so I didn't take this here. It was kind of tumultuous. I probably could have gotten in at 19. Okay, but I let it go. Wow, there's some buying going through there. It's getting held up. So right now the tape is kind of mixed. We found a little equilibrium point. Hmm. So in my mind, maybe 350 is a target, but it's so close that it's not even a thought to take it here, given the volatility. And I'm thinking I want it back towards 19. Mm. Okay, now it's starting to push. Bid's coming through. Bid is actually following up there. Looks like I was getting ready to buy too. I didn't even notice the bid pushing up there. Okay, so now it's just so mid-range. There's nothing really going on. Oh, there we go. Boom. But then immediately back down. And then boom. That's where I get in. And that was the rest of my day. In at 312, out at 324. Bada bing, bada broom. And that, I don't know, it's just a messy day. A lot of stuff like that. Tricky names. I was also going really heavy on the open. The open. Let's see. Not a whole bunch was happening, but I was going ham on this SLXN, and this was going ham on me. We were going at it, and you know, I don't think I was green at all on it today, but I was really red for a second. I don't know. I take that back. I was up $12 at one point. There were a couple trades here where I just was. So this was okay. So looking back on it, this was a big mistake. I could have saved a lot of money here. So it pops up and then dips back down right here. I get in. Decent entry. Not mad about it. Kind of like looks like it might hold halfway. And as far as like a chart technical analysis, it's kind of coming from the lows, breaking back above this kind of consolidation zone. Probably has to retest much lower before it attempts to go high again. And a lot of resistance up here, didn't break above, kind of did a double top, but not quite. And so this is what I'm left with, is holding a position up here. And it is like holding up for a second. They're selling going through, should have cut it right there at the latest. But I hold it, and I hold it down, and I get filled at from 61 to 51, and then that puts me down 500 on that trade, and I'm down 800 on the day at that point. But I keep trading it, and I keep throwing stuff around. I make a little bit back as it curls up. Where was the biggest trade I had? Okay, so at this point I was down 7 still. And then I kept taking stabs for this breakout. And then I was like, oh, good, got it. Boom, boom. And that was a great trade. That was actually a 13 cent, 12 cent, 12, 13, 13 cent winner on 5,000 shares, which is, that was a lot ish. So like maybe $700. And so that puts me back to basically flat on the day, or only down 100. So that was the most positive. And then Okay, so see here, I could have got away with taking the flush. There. I would have bought there, that would have been great. Selling there, maybe. Big bid down there. Also, this is another example of a good entry place. Okay, so I try to get in there, I lose money. Range is kind of tight there. I start looking over here. Buy a bunch of upticks. So here was a main problem. I don't get any of these dips here because I think they're all going to fail, of course. And then I buy this uptick, and I think that's where I lose a lot of money. There's a bid. It's hesitating. Should be cutting right there. I'm giving it maybe a little too much time for the position that I'm in and for how it's acting. There's buying going through, nothing's happening, there's a seller. Okay, so lose a little bit there. Not crazy. It's 10 o'clock though, close of the hour. I'm gonna try again. I try exactly the same spot and I hold too long right here. It's hesitating, now it's hesitating below my position, should be cutting. Yeah, okay, cool. But then I jump back in on the uptick, which is not. Yeah, and so I was kind of out of sync here. And I was very persistent, but out of sync, which is not a good combination. Not a good combination. I was like, I don't want this thing to rip above and da 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 da. But like the 5 minute doesn't look great, you know. Okay, so I'm back in the same spot. Oof, and that was a rough one. I get filled at 56, pops above for a second, out at 54, flushes down. Still not buying the dips, which is fine because they're kind of flushing, but Okay, buy that one. It's sort of getting pinned here. Oof, I doubled up size. And nope, no dice. It didn't do the flip. I was looking for the flip there, but the dip buying did work. And there's going to be one more trade here where I do really poorly now. This put me down 1,000, but it was mainly because I tripled up size, and so I was in with 15,000 shares. Rate right there, thinking it was going to go right then, and I was pretty sure, but no. And then I got filled high, and then it's holding below, and then I'm going to wait till I should be cutting right here. Yeah, there's the selling. And I'm going to get right back in. Yep. And it's going to pop. And for a second, unrealized I go green, I think. There we go. Unload a little bit. Looking for the 60. Probably should unload more. Yeah. But, put me back down to only down 190. And then from there, I think I just let it go because being down 1,000 to only being down 190 is like, I guess, a good positive move in my direction. And it wasn't really working out. It didn't end up making new highs. I just set an alarm. It didn't hit the alarm, and it just failed the rest of the day. And then the rest of the morning this time was me failing on GV. I got slipped a few times. I traded kind of carelessly and was trading the upticks and wasn't adapting to the price action because the price action was a little bit different than the SLXN. It was I wasn't able to get in at the price that I was trying to get in at. It kept filling me higher, and that was part of my problem. But having said that, also not cutting was part of my problem too, and buying on upticks. So those three things: buying on upticks, not cutting. Actually, those two things, buying on upticks and not cutting, were my main problems today. And yeah, but I'm going to call this review done. And thank you for watching. I will talk to you guys again tomorrow. Peace.